First game of race will get you know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, slides, 2 games after this win in. First you again, here for the first minute. Carry block, you never 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
It's, you know, here it's Tennessee. So, you know, we're going to get the best guys here. You know, that's just every year. Every time we're out there, it's competition. You know, nobody has a spot. Nobody's comfortable. We're all working to get better.
Yeah, I didn't sign any mustard bottles or golf balls. Maybe wish I had a golf ball that night, you know what I mean? But I'm only kidding. All right.
I know everybody thinks it's cliche, but, you know, I truly believe in my heart, you know, that we all are blessed just to have the opportunity to be at the University of Tennessee. You know, we've had some guys in the past that always felt like Tennessee was blessed to have us, you know, and that's not the case, you know. So these guys, I think they're believing in what we're doing, how we're doing things, that they understand it's bigger than us as individuals. It's bigger than me as Coach G, it's bigger than Coach Banks, it's bigger than Coach Eck, you know, it's bigger than any one of them. You know, it begins with the T and ends with the T.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it, I can feel it, it's coming in the air now. Oh, we fell in love, you remember the time. How could I ever forget? You remember the time. Oh, we fell in love, you remember the time. How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now.
Good Wednesday evening. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We got a fun one. We had to find a new challenger for Coach J, undisputed film breakdown world champion for like 5,722 days at this point. I've already lost count. I quit counting because nobody can beat Coach J. I'm going to have to go outside the circle. What am I going to do? Are we going to have to bring Josh Heupel on here? Is that what it's going to take to bring down the undisputed champion? I don't know, but we're going to have a fun night. You've already figured it out by now. We're going to be breaking down 4-star offensive lineman Juan Gaston. He's listed as an interior guy, but look, I think a lot of people think he projects as an offensive tackle. And then Coach J, I think he looks at me, I almost said Vince McMahon. That'd probably be a bad statement this time of the year after all the stuff going on with Vince McMahon. So maybe he looks at me like Tony Khan. Maybe he thinks I'm booking the territory because he's pulling at my heartstrings. An edge rusher, 4-star edge rusher, Jared Smith, that I absolutely love. 6'6", 235. I think he thinks that I'm going to decide who wins this, but that's not the case. You guys in the chat, you're going to vote on it at the end of the show. So do us a favor right out of the gate. Let's grow the numbers. Let's grow the numbers. These guys put a lot of work in tonight, so I need you guys to hit the thumbs up, hit that share button, put it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let somebody know we're live. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's run down the chat. Let's see who is here. Who was here bright and early? Brad was here. Brad was here, and he was complaining about me not going live, but I was waiting on Brad to drop his door fee, which he did. Brad dropped a $5 super chat. Says, go Big Orange. Door fee. Shout out, Brad. Appreciate the super chat. Man, last night was a crazy night. Fun stream last night. Brad went to bed before it got crazy every Tuesday night. Who else is here? Ball Fan for Life is here. My vote is already cast, and I don't even got to watch. I feel like you aren't going to buy the pay-per-view. I feel like you just know that Roman Reigns is going to win. But what if this is WrestleMania? What if this is Rocky Top Tom's WrestleMania moment? Angry Titan is here. Says Rocky Top Tom, Coach Jay says you prefer Uncle Lou. Oh, the shots are being fired. Matt Dumit is here. What's up, my friend? Tony Canada is in the house. Guys, come on in. Smash the thumbs up. We're going to have a good time tonight. Let's get the undisputed champion on here to talk about his upcoming opponent. You feeling confident? You got that beautiful, gorgeous belt. Look at that thing.
Shine it up a little. Stole this from Jeremy Pruitt when he left. But yeah.
Do you know how to actually wear
the old
it, though?
belt. Yeah, yeah. You just put it over your whole head. I thought that's what you did. I mean, I don't know.
Be honest. Have you put
feeling good.
Have you put that belt around your waist yet?
Oh, I have. Of course. Of course I put this belt around my waist and ran around like an idiot all over the house and
I love it.
Watch Miss J laugh at me. Yeah, that absolutely happened. No doubt about it.
All right, I have no idea how long you've been the champion, but I think you've got a lot of confidence going into this fight. You nervous at all? You concerned me on Twitter. You took the Ivan Drago approach. Guess what? Rocky knocked him out. Rocky got the win.
Yeah, he got him.
Careful.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you. I haven't been that nervous. I feel comfortable. We've been doing these. We did a couple in a row, but I'll tell you what. I thought I was going to see David Sanders. Yeah, I thought I knew which opponent I was going to get. Right. I thought I was going to get a David Sanders or Perry. I thought I kind of knew where Tom was going, and when I saw the post go up that it was Juan Gaston, it was almost, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a little bit of that Johnny Ringo meets Doc Holliday moment. I didn't get the opponent I expected. I got surprised a little bit, Boogie. And hey, Juan Gaston's mean, man. He's mean. I've watched his film. I think I know why Tom picked him. I won't bury the lead and steal a scouting report, but as you're about to see, the kid can play, and he's mean.
Well, let's get the man of the hour on here. If it's your first time ever on the Talkin VAWLS Network, there's no way you tuned in for the first time and you made it through that 8.5 minutes of me yelling and screaming and rambling. There's no way. They're all gone. So it's all the old faithfuls here. It's the Talkin VAWLS family. But let's get the challenger. Oh, I don't even know why I said that. It's because I wanted to let you know, if you are a first-time viewer, Coach Jay coaches a little ball out on the West Coast. We do a series here called the Film Breakdown. We've been breaking down Shady Hayward. We got Jalen Matthews coming up soon. Jordan Ross is in the bank. That's a good one. That's an old one. That's good to go back and watch. There's a playlist on the channel. You can go back and watch those old breakdowns. But he's got a challenger. He's got to defend that belt. Rocky Top Tom, are you feeling confident on this Wednesday
feeling
night?
Great. Champ always feels great. That's my belt.
There you go.
Oh,
belt.
Woo! Coming for it. I like it.
I'm just happy to be here, for real. I love that we get to break down Tennessee football recruits during the off season or the actual season that matters. Yeah.
Well, Coach Jay coaches ball out on the West Coast. All I know is that you coach offensive line. You can go as deep as you want. Don't you be putting out your address and where you're at. If you want to say the city, whatever, as much as you're comfortable with. Give your experience why you're on here breaking down film.
Yeah, so I coach at a very teeny school that used to be called Prince Edward Academy. It is now Fuqua School in Farmville, Virginia. And that's actually where I went to school. So it's nothing as far as they reached out to me just begging me to be the coach. That was that was just something that kind of fell into my lap because of the connection of having gone there. We don't have as much of a program as we used to because, unfortunately, the private school kind of scene in this area is dying down a little bit, but maybe there'll be a little bit of a resurgent. Used to be a heck of a program back in the day. I don't know if anybody looks it up online tonight, but look up Coach Lewis Skeeter 4. May he rest in peace. He was one of the best men I ever knew, taught me everything I know about football, except for what our offensive line coach taught us. And he used to keep us at practice until 6:30, 7 o'clock some nights, spitting a little bit of that chew in your face, chewing you out. But yeah,
I love a coach who throws a nice big plug in and spits it all over you. That's awesome.
We used to give him a hard time, but man, that was fun. I would go back to those days anytime. Absolutely. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. Well, I guess we'll waste 11 minutes. We're going to jump right into it. We had a coin toss right before we went live. Coach Jay's undefeated defending the belt, and he's also undefeated on the coin toss. He won the coin toss. He elected to defer to the second half. So Rocky Top Tom, first time breaking down film on the channel. We're going to just jump right into it. We're going to take a look at his prospect. If I can get StreamYard to work, we'll pull it up here. Juan Gaston, again, 4-star. He's listed as an interior offensive lineman. Everybody says Tennessee is recruiting him, and he projects as an offensive tackle because of his size, 6'7", 345 pounds, out of Atlanta, Georgia, ranked 173rd nationally, 11th overall as an interior offensive lineman. As far as his recruitment, his top 8, Florida State, Georgia, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, UCF, and USC. But I saw an interview with him where he said he's talking the most with Georgia, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, and USC. What he likes about Tennessee, Glenn Ellerbe. Says he's a good offensive line coach. He plays a big role in Juan Gaston's interest in Tennessee. It's a good school with good fans, and it is not far from home. He's been on Rocky Top several times. Man, Coach, how many times – as I was putting both of these kind of bios together as we went into it, he was in town for that 2022 Alabama game. How many kids in the last 2 cycles since you and I have been doing the breakdown series have we brought that game up? Just how many kids were at that game?
A lot of them. It was impactful. It was iconic. It was epic. Can you think of a more iconic game in the last 20 years? Maybe the kick six, Auburn, Alabama. I mean, you guys spit them out in the chat. Like the point is, no matter what game you spit out, that game's on that list, right? It's on that list with a couple of those epic games in the last 20 years. And whenever you get a game like that, it's going to pull people in. And those kids who were there during that game, they understand how special that was. That environment was electric. It was palpable. You could feel it from anywhere. You had grown men crying. You had people, running around in jubilation. You had people carrying goalposts off. It was just an awesome moment, man. It was just absolute pandemonium. And how could you not want to be a part of that after witnessing it? We have the best fan base in the world. I will die on that hill any old day. And those players in that moment understood very, very clearly that we had the best fan base in the world.
Yeah, I think so many moments from that night. And then that season, right? How many times was game day here? Game day was here for Alabama. They were here for Florida. I think SEC Nation was here that season. And that's why I kind of compare that season to this year. We got to recreate that, right? We got to create that again and take that momentum in the class of 25. He was also here for Rocky Top Kickoff, the event last July. He visited for the Georgia game last year. Most recently, he was in town April the 6th to take in a practice. The quote says, "This was my first time seeing practice. I've only been here for a game. It was great seeing them practice. It was fast-paced and competitive. I like the way they spread the offense out so offensive line gets a good picture of the box. They say he's a great coach. All vibes are good." That's talking about Glenn Ellerbe. Said, "I talked to 2 or 3 of the players today after practice to see how things were here. They said it was a great living." Now, this is from Matt Ray over at VolQuest. Coming off of that visit on April the 6th, said it was another really good visit for Juan Gaston and his family. Tennessee is in the thick of this one. He will visit Texas next weekend and and then the family's going to take a break from being on the road. He spent time on the West Coast this month, but at the time, we do not see him leaving the South to play college ball unless there's a nice shakeup. Georgia and Tennessee continue to impress here. He's got officials scheduled for the summer: Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, Oregon. Working on a Tennessee visit, still does not have that locked in, but the decision is coming sometime during his senior season. So Tennessee could get that in-season visit. Tom, how much do you think, and Coach Jay and I have had this conversation in the past, what's the difference? You know, a lot of these kids want to visit during the summer. They want to commit before their senior season. They can focus on football and then get ready for college. How much is there an advantage versus disadvantage to visiting on, say, June the 14th, when the coaches don't have a game to worry about, you're the center of attention, versus you come in for a game, you get the atmosphere of a Tennessee game day, but you don't get that attention one-on-one time with the coaches?
I think it depends on the kid, to be real, and the attitude, but or the young man, depending on who they are as a person. But some of the guys that you've had on the show recently have really impressed me as far as the answers they've given to that. You know, why did you choose to come at this time, or when did you schedule your stuff, and for what reason? It really depends on the athlete and what they're looking for too. I mean, if you're looking for academics, you're looking for atmosphere, you're looking for winning culture, Coach Heupel's bringing all of it. And I guess the academics haven't fallen at UT, at least not that I've heard of in the past 20 or 30 years. So, yeah, I mean, if I was a recruit getting to go to UT for something like that, I would do as much as humanly possible. And with each school, you know, I'm partial to UT, but I'd go to Tennessee Junior or Oklahoma or Missouri or any of these places that want to offer me, especially if they want to take me out to Hawaii for free. That'd be cool. But yeah, you can't beat the game day atmosphere in Knoxville,
Right.
especially like what y'all were hitting on with that 22 Alabama game. You cannot beat that. You really can't beat that. And I wasn't there for that one, but I was there for the Will Hoyt kick, and you couldn't beat that either, because we didn't used to beat Florida on a regular basis after Iceman left. And, you know, that if you're there for that as a recruit, man, how can you argue with that? Even a freshman like Juan Gaston would have been a freshman 2 years ago. He's going to remember that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to jump right into the film. Here's what you guys have to remember. You guys in the chat get an opportunity to vote at the end of the stream. It's not just about the player. You're not saying, well, I think Juan Gaston is a better player, or I think Jared Smith is a better player. That's part of it. I want you guys to factor that into it. I also want you to factor the recruitment into it a small bit. Does Tennessee have a legit shot at landing Juan Gaston? Do they have a legit shot at landing Jared Smith, or one of these guys pulling a little tomfoolery and trying to cheat by who they bring in here? Also, the main factor, the main thing I want you guys to look at, who does a better job breaking down the film? Who educates you? Because I get educated every time we do some of these film breakdowns. I love it. I'm learning more about the game of football. I think you guys in the chat are learning more about the game of football, and I think we're blessed on this channel to have these coaches come on and do this. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Opening statement, Rocky Top Tom. We're going to put Coach Jay in the back room. Opening statement, why Juan Gaston? Why did you roll with Juan Gaston?
Well, I watched every film of each offensive lineman we were looking at this year, and a couple of them, like Sanders and Petty, they really stood out. But one guy that was underrated by far, and he's only a junior, so he's going to be a 5-star. I can tell every one of you right now, dude is going to be a 5-star if he improves on just two things in his senior season. And, of course, if his team does a little bit better. But Juan Gaston has the size, he's got the speed, and he's got the restraint on his size and speed at the same time to be smart about it. And he really just stood out. I know we're doing well with David Sanders, and we're doing really well with Jalen Matthews, who I also really like. But I also had seen that y'all had broken down a couple of those guys, and I didn't want to pick anybody that y'all had already broken down. That was, I think you called it low-hanging fruit one time. And I was real upset, though, because I wanted David Sanders real bad. He was the easy pick. But Juan Gaston's massive. He's got the natural talent, and he's also got the potential. And I went by 4 different things when I was looking: form, physicality, presence of mind, and potential. And dude fits it all to a T. And I mean, no pun intended, but yeah. Yeah, I see Coach Jay there. Yeah.
All right,
But no, I watched a lot of film, and he stood out big time.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump right into it. Each coach gets to pick 4 plays. We're going to break down that play, and then they get a bonus play that they're going to kind of just explain and let ride out, and then the other coach gets to come on and challenge them on something. So that's where we're going to go. So we're going to kick things off. Me and Tom going to test our chemistry here. Play 0, 0, 0. What do we got here? I wanted to call you Coach Tom. I'm just going to call you Coach Tom.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. It's better than what some of the other coaches call me sometimes. No, just kidding. But not really. So anyway, first play on his junior season film. And if y'all really want an experience, put on some AC/DC and watch this kid's huddle film from his junior year, because I mean, you're just going to have a blast watching this. You cannot tell during the snap and while the ball's in the air getting to the quarterback's hands, but because the linebacker's about to shift here, we got a pass play. Their high school runs a very similar offense to Coach Heupel and UT. They run a lot of motion. They don't run a lot of motion during the plays, but they definitely run a lot of pre-snap motions, which, of course, we're all familiar with that. They have very similar formations, 3 wide, wing, 1 running back in the backfield, a lot of different mix match, trying to get different looks to the defense. But they also have a heck of an anchor in Gaston here. So 54 is about to move over into a spot where you can't see Gaston's footwork. But I can tell you, when you see the play itself, watch his positioning. He's starting in a good spot right now, because you can see that he's got the Z's in his knees, his butt is low. His feet are perfectly spread out. Some of these guys, you can already see their center's got a little, or not their center, their right guard's got a little bit too far of a spread on his feet. But Gaston's got really good spread on his feet. They're right underneath his shoulders, exactly where they're supposed to be. And he doesn't have his hands on his knees. If you're a linebacker who they're evil people, don't ever take football out.
The first shot's been fired.
Yeah. So just keep your hands off your knees, because as an offensive lineman, a linebacker, a cover corner, any guy that's going to have to immediately do something on anything, your first move is not going to be to do what your job is. Your first move is to take your hands off your knees. And I don't care how good you are, subconsciously, subliminally, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be the first thing that your brain does, and it detracts from your ability to do your job. He doesn't have his hands on his knees here. So if you want to give it a play, you're about to see some real good pass blocking, and the defender's just going to get wrecked. He's absolutely going to get wrecked. And I don't know if that receiver caught that, but that was a perfect throw right there too. I got to give credit to the quarterback. So if you pause it, you see they do have decently wide splits, kind of like what Coach Heupel runs here. But when you watch his feet, if you can see his footwork from here, yes, he does get a pancake. Shout out there, Vol fan for life. He gets a lot of pancakes. He is an aggressive pass blocker. The one thing I would correct on him, and this is super easily coachable, you can get rid of this in exactly 1 hour during practice, maybe even 30 minutes just from doing 20 or 30 reps. His footwork's great, but he doesn't get the separation by chucking just with his hands like this, right? He is so aggressive and so powerful that when the defender engages with him, he doesn't want to let off. And it's kind of beautiful and coachable at the same time, which is why I really like this guy so much. But if you give this one more play, you're really going to see his feet kick and drag to the outside. And he's also got the presence of mind to keep his right hand inside just in case that defensive end comes at him, and he doesn't. And then now, after the QBs let the ball go, you're just going to see him absolutely drive this kid to the ground. And it's not even fair. He shouldn't have done that to him. He's just a young man, you know. He didn't ask for that, but we can move on to the next one there. So I chose a pass play first because, one, chronologically, it was easy on the film to pull that one up. But we have a first-time starting quarterback, and pass blocking, even though we run the ball more, which I love, and the Heupel offense, you're going to have to pass block. And if you're going to play left tackle with this guy's size here, he absolutely is perfect to put at that position. And you got to be able to trust somebody. Now, he's not going to be playing while Nico is a first-time starter, but if you're going to have Merck and Mac and possibly this all-star, all-universe athlete coming up from 2026, they're going to be playing together. And he's got that size to play as a sophomore. He really does. If he shines in 2 years, what is it? He's got a senior year. So 3 years, you're really going to see something if he commits to UT. So on this next play here, we've got, what do we got? Oh, this is my favorite scheme. So we've got a gap scheme here. And again, you see the same formation, very familiar to a hypo offense. You got a wing, got a tailback, opposite side of the wing. It looks like it could be a handoff and the wing lead. It looks like it could be a zone, maybe an ISO, maybe an inside zone or something, but it's actually going to be a gap scheme. And what you're going to see here, I love this because on the first play, he absolutely showed that he can pass block. But on this one, you're going to see him gap down. And when I mean his body position shows him taking a perfect 6-inch gap step. When you're an offensive lineman, your first step should not be more than 6 inches. If it is, you are completely off balance, And a defender could just come up to you and give you a stiff arm and you're done. I mean, even the strongest guy in the world is absolutely going to fall over. You take too big of a step. You can't see it right now, but his right foot, they're going to gap down inside, and he has a perfect 6-inch gap step. The defender is going to shoot, and you'll see this. The defender's going to shoot down that defensive tackle that's right inside of the ref there that you can't really see. He's going to shoot down inside the guard. So this is a really bad position for the defensive tackle to put himself in. He's going to shoot inside the guard, and this is absolutely what you want as a gap scheme calling offense. You want defensive tackles that are going to push themselves down inside the gap scheme. They're going to put themselves outside the play. You're going to have the back who's able to read. Now, this is a high school kid. I think their tailback and their quarterback are both maybe they're sophomores. I tried to find some info on them. They don't always do the best job at reading the holes, but on this one, it's going to the house because he has the presence of mind when that defensive tackle shoots down inside on the gap scheme. He knows that right now he's his guy. He's playing nose to nose with his guard. That's what we call a chuck block at least on our scheme. But when that tackle shoots down, he's going to climb up to the linebacker, and you're going to see him block to the second level. Again, evil linebackers, bad position. But he's going to take out the linebacker, clear the hole. You could drive a Mack truck through what this guy's about to get a cutback on, and you can just enjoy the play. And I'm going to shut up now. Yep, he shoots down, climbs to the linebacker, cut back to the house. They don't show the rest of the play, but I can guarantee you there is nobody there that's going to catch that kid. He is housing it. And if he goes down to the sideline and knows that the defender needs to get angle of pursuit on him, he's going to cut to his left because that's where the hole is. You see that huge hole. I could drive my pickup through there. He's going to cut to the sideline and he's going to be to the house. And that is exactly what tailbacks like Small, they would do. You're going to see a lot of that. Now on this one, this is sheer power. They are at the goal line. They're in an unbalanced line. At least it looks like an unbalanced line to me. We used to call this Mary Mac. So he's in an unbalanced formation. He is the last guy on the line of scrimmage. So it looks like he's technically eligible right now. He's going to take that defensive end for a ride. And, you asked me a few minutes ago why I picked Gaston. This kid, you could watch his film, but for 2 plays where the filmer is not doing a great job, his film speaks for itself. And all I have to do on this one is give you like a 5-second. He's going to take a left step with his left foot that's a perfect 6 inches, and then he's going to lock in with hands inside. He's got beautiful hands on most of his plays, at least that you can see very well. He's got great hands, And you're going to see this dude take the defensive end downtown to Chinatown. He's going to go like 6 yards down the field into the end zone. And this is why I said that their tailback and their quarterback don't always pick up on the holes the right way. But unfortunately, he's technically playing tackle. I think his number is 63. If 63 doesn't whiff his block, if 63 got his head across and drove this guy down the field, there is no question this is going to be a touchdown. And on a Tennessee offense with the offensive line and the scheme that we got, you plug this play in. I think everybody remembers that Alabama game where Princeton Fant, he had the second effort touchdown. That was mostly Fant. But if you had a guy like this playing an unbalanced line where a tight end normally would be, or outside of where a tight end would be, you're absolutely housing this with any back that we have in our stable, especially somebody like Khalifa Keefe or Dylan Sampson, Cam Seldon. They're going to pick the hole the right way. And our interior line, I know it's a little bit of a concern, just a little bit. We got that lack of depth there, but you put him on the offensive line and you run a play like this, it's going house. And I know I said it doesn't take much intro on this, but I run my mouth a lot. So we're going to see a perfect zone step. He's going to drive him. It should have been a house call, but the key is he's the focus. The offense that they run is a little bit kooky sometimes. They got young guys, but you can go ahead and hit it, and it's a beautiful play on him. Look at his hands, and look at the drive, taking him to the ground. I mean, just absolutely fit, and drive, got perfect feet, and it looks like he stands up all the way, but he's a huge guy, and I get on huge guys, especially at UT, for blocking high. But trust me, for a guy that is what is he? He's like 6'7". Yeah, he's 6'7", 345. It looks like he's standing all the way up, even though his butt is down. He really has that drive with the inside of his hands and his feet, and he takes short steps. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So now
let me hit the chat, then we'll come back. We're going to go to 125 coming up next, and we're going to run through the bonus play, and then Coach Jay is going to have an opportunity to come in here and fire some shots at Tom. Joe Brown becomes a member of this channel. Shout out, Joe Brown. We appreciate your support, brother. You guys can do the same. Hit that join button over there beside subscribe. You can do that for just $1 a month. We appreciate your support. You guys keep the light on around here. We got over 100 people watching live. I love that. Man, it was just 2 years ago. It would be a Wednesday night in the middle of the season. We'd have 50 people watching live. Now we got over 100 people tuning in to watch you guys break down film. That's how much this channel is growing. It's the freaking middle of April, and we got people tuning in to watch some coaches break down film, and I love it. I'm here for it. Let's jump back into it. Tom, we got 125, and then we'll go into your bonus play after this one.
Yeah, so what do we got? 125. This kid had so much film, it was hard to keep track of. You know what? So this is – I usually would not call out another coach unless it's, of course, Coach Jay and we're going against each other. Come at me, bro. But no. So this is a very strange scheme, okay? There's a reason that you don't do certain things, and this is going to be the exception. It does happen sometimes that things work out the way that you designed them. But this offense, I actually watched his freshman and his junior season film. They run this little zone trap play a lot. I would never call this. This is not a good scheme, okay? They're going to pull Juan Gaston from the backside of a zone play onto the play side, hoping that the back and the quarterback are going to waste, a stupid amount of time, an absolute stupid amount of time on getting not just the snap, but the handoff. You're wasting time in the backfield. It's supposed to be a play that the back can read two different holes. It's kind of a trap zone. It's kind of an inside zone. If you saw this in Coach Heupel's offense, you see where the wing is right now. He would be outside of Gaston's left foot, and they would not normally be as tight as what you would see in this spread that they've got going on. So whoever their coach is, you got a heck of a kid playing left tackle. if you're going to run a zone, run the same kind of zone that you ran on previous plays. But either way, I'm digressing now. So he's going to pull. And what you're going to see when you have an offensive lineman that's pulling and he's going to pull to his right, you see how his left hand, I know I was talking him up, he's got his left hand on his knee right now, but his right hand's going to come back like this immediately to get momentum. He's going to get his arm this way to get momentum as he's pulling. And it's like a sprinter. If you sprint into your turn and you kind of a little bit tilt your head to the left into the track, I know it sounds dumb, but you're a little bit quicker when you do this. It's just all about physics and your body momentum. And when you're talking about big boy football, you're playing Georgia, you're going to have to rip that arm, get your body turned. And he does do just a little bit of a hop step. Earlier, I was talking about on his pass blocking, he doesn't do that chunking and get separation. On this one, I would spend the next 30 minutes with him after you do that coaching. This is very easily gotten rid of, and I'll bet you our coaching staff is going to absolutely clear him of that in the first hour of practice, day one that they got him on the field. He does a hop step. And what I mean by a hop step is you want to see a perfect 6-inch, 90-degree turn with your right foot if you're the pulling guard or the pulling tackle, and especially on something where you need every split millimeter of a second that you can get. So he does just a little bit of a hop step, but that is easily coached out. I mean, you can get rid of that very quickly. So when he hop steps, you're going to see his arm pull. You're going to see him get down the line of scrimmage. He is going to get down the line of scrimmage like a bat out of you-know-where, and he's absolutely going to tank the first dude that he sees. I had a different play selected for this one that's towards the beginning of his film. I think it's the very second play of his entire junior season film. And I didn't pick that one because this one actually shows a little bit of smarts too. He's going to demolish the guy that shoots the gap on his center. Center gets completely blown off the ball. Again, they got a young offensive line on this team. And as the pulling tackle on this play, you're absolutely coached that you're not supposed to really be getting the first guy you see. You've got an assignment. And from what I can tell about their high school offense is I think his assignment is supposed to either be play side backer or Sam, who's the outside backer there towards the left side of the defense. But he doesn't get that far. And you'll definitely see when the play develops, especially if you do that slow motion trick there that you got going on, the center gets completely blown off the ball and he wrecks the guy who gets in front of him. And he also has presence of mind too. But this is the potential play. This is the potential play right here. He's absolutely got the form. He's got the speed as a huge guy. I mean, he really does. He's 45 pounds. Dudes that are 345 usually don't move that quick. There's speed and there's quickness. He's got quickness, even with the hop step. That little bit of a hop step, even with it, he's got perfect speed. So if you want to go ahead and hit it,
hold on. I'm gonna hit play. You want to know what my slow motion trick is?
What is it?
It's called StreamYard. StreamYard cannot process playing clips like YouTube clips. Everything. They slow down, it lags out. It's the best we can do. I'm not tech savvy. I can't go to OBS and do all that fancy stuff.
You and I need to get some film breakdown sessions going on, bro, because I'm telling you, I could really use some of that. And if you want, I'll break down each offensive lineman and defensive lineman we got. Coach Jay, he can go eat fish tacos down at the beach or go to USC.
Hold on. Did you just fire Coach Jay from the channel?
No.
That's
just
my ride or die.
Yeah, he can do the linebackers and all those positions that don't matter. We all know here that UT has an offensive lineman shortage for the last 35 years, okay? We have not had one season that I can remember, and I've been to probably 40 football games in Knoxville, that we did not have an offensive line shortage, okay? Coach Jay knows his stuff. He really does. He's absolutely an all-star to me.
Come on, double down, attack him.
Yeah, as far as the line goes, you and I can get on the StreamYard and we can absolutely break down in slow motion. And if you want shrimp tacos, Coach, I will buy them for you if it gets you out of here and I get some FaceTime on Talkin VAWLS Network, because I'm just happy to be here. But let's hit it. You're about to see something beautiful. I mean, this just makes me happy right here as an OL coach. I mean, I love this. And plow. Yeah, he's plowing, and the potential with the pull. And yep, see, and he still pulls with his right foot, but he does have that little bit of a hop step. He has a perfect right foot, but the rest of his body hop steps, okay? So I would work with a kid for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. He would hate me at the end of the 20 or 30 minutes, but he's going to be a better football player because of it. And I'm going to ride him a lot, and I'm going to tell him, nope, come back, do it again, exactly the way we showed you, and you're going to do it 30 or 40 times in about 5 minutes. And it's going to be muscle memory, like immediately. You're not going to do that hop step. You're just going to have that right arm that pulls around. And I wish I could get in a 3-point stance on the camera right now, but the way that my computer's set, I can't show you. But you're going to pull that arm around. You're going to take that 1 6-inch, 90-degree angle step perpendicular, and you're just going to get it. And his potential is just there. I mean, we need guys like this. We need David Sanders. We need Josh Petty or Richard Petty or whatever his name is. But we need Juan Gaston big time. We need Jalen Matthews. I really want Jalen Matthews, but Juan Gaston is a necessity, okay? He's not just a necessity because we lack depth and we need a guy after next year to be an interior or a tackle. Dude at 6'7", 345 could play interior at that guard position. I know we've got a lack of guards right now that have experience, but he also has a huge frame, and his pass blocking. I know the first play you could only see his technique and his aggressiveness, but so much. But in a little bit, when we get to the bonus play, it's beautiful. You'll know exactly why. If you didn't know already, you need glasses. But if you didn't, then you're going to see it on the bonus play, exactly why my mouth is watering whenever I look at this film. And from there, I'll let Coach Jay do his thing. I'm going to give you my address here in a few minutes so you can send it to me there, Coach Jay. But I got a spot on the mantle right over here.
You know what I think the punishment is? If you lose the belt, you got to pay the $40 to ship it. That's what it cost me to ship it to Coach Jay. He's got to pay it out of pocket. I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
I think that's fair. All's fair in love and war, and the dirtiest player in the game does not care. Look, I wear no watch. I wear a $10 pair of shoes, and there's a line of ladies outside waiting to spend a night with Rocky Top Tom. And I can tell you right now, Coach Jay, you don't know what just hit you because it's already happened. It's as fast as Juan Gaston on the offensive line. You don't know what just happened because it's already happened. It's too late now. It's gone. Poof. Dude is in the end zone. If you had a back on that offense that could read a line like a Mack truck hole, it is already gone.
I feel like I got to do this.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
All right, here's the bonus play. We're going to take a look. This is Tom's bonus play. He doesn't get to talk about it. Doesn't get to break it down. We're just going to roll it, and then we're going to wrap it up and let Coach Jay get on here and counter argue.
Look at that. Look at that right there. I'm not going to break it down. Just look at his feet. Pow, 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 tap, tap, tap. Kick and drag. I know I'm not supposed to break it down, but God, I can't help it. Look at his feet. Look at his quickness. And the quarterback, if he didn't hold on to it like Joe Milton, he'd have been 30 yards down the field by now. But, yeah.
Look at this guy. Who's he texting?
Look at Coach Jay there. Are you texting your financial accountant, Coach Jay?
I was texting I was texting that his hands were on the outside on your bonus play is what I was texting.
A little bit.
But a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. No, hey, great. Listen, awesome job. Great work. You freaking brought the heat right now. Coach Rice is going to have his work cut out when you have to go against him next.
I'm looking forward to
that. It's going to be an amazing
number one
matchup.
contenders
So he's going to have to get ready. But we'll see who gets the rematch. No, I'm looking forward to it, man. Either way, that was a lot of fun, dude. He listen. I said it right at the beginning of this when I know who you picked. His film is for real, and I knew it was in a what's the slogan, right? Sometimes you don't know you're in a fist fight till you get punched.
Ooh, yeah.
The second you made your pick and I saw that, I knew I was in a fist fight and I got punched. So with that being said, it's time to throw a couple counters here, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff though, Tom. Awesome.
All right, so throw your counter argument. If there's something that that Tom missed that you saw, what's your counter, or just something in Juan Gaston's game that you want to point
He
out?
did a good job of heading me off at the pass with his little hezzy jump there. When I sneak peeked his film, I caught the pull play, and it's actually literally in my notes about that. His hand placement being a little more outside than we want is on there. You know, when you're that big, and Tom's right, this is something that is very, very fixable, very, very quickly on a football field. When you're that big, you just got to get your hands on somebody and you can just annihilate them, right? But you want to drive that inner shoulder pad. And the reason above anything, I mean, not only can you steer them better, but the main reason is you don't want to get called for holding. Your hands fly outside like that. The SEC refs are throwing flags immediately. It was nice to see him pull. Just got to be a little more economical when he does so, and his hands. But besides that, a great kid who plays with a lot of anger. And one of the worst things about doing these breakdowns is, man, you usually want both of these kids. So
I do want both of them.
this is definitely one of those cases. The other is, you know, and it's not necessarily on the film, but here's the thing. If he's going to be an inside offensive lineman because we're sliding him in, right? Can he play at that guard? We didn't see him play on the inside there. We only saw him play at tackle, and I hate to argue from absenteeism, but I'd like to see him on the inside more, because if we do pull in Mr. Matthews, which I believe we will, and when we do, I think we're going to get Mr. David Sanders as well. Well, we're going to have to talk him to playing in inside, and I think he can do it. I'm pretty sure he can do it. He's definitely got the feet to do it, as Tom so adequately pointed out. But, you know, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip, and I'd like to see a little more of that on film.
Let me ask you one last question, Tom, and then we're going to go into breaking down Jared Smith. As an offensive line coach, something that kind of a general theme that I see is when you're talking about an offensive tackle. Look, if you're an SEC offensive lineman, you're probably playing tackle for your high school, right? How much easier is it to slide from tackle to guard versus trying to figure out how to go from guard to tackle?
Well, I played guard and I played tackle, so I can tell you I always enjoyed playing guard more because you get to pull a lot more. And in high school offenses, if you're running counter gap, which we ran a lot of, you're decimating interior guys. Coach Jay, I would have seen you on the other side there because you'd have been my guy. You'd have been play side linebacker. Yeah,
that's right.
I mean,
wait, hold. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat right now. Man to man, mano a mano, Coach Jay versus Rocky Top Tom. Rocky Top Tom's pulling. He's looking to get upfield to the next level, and he sees Coach Jay in his sights. Who is winning that head-to-head battle? I just punched my microphone. Who's winning that head-to-head battle?
Well, that really all depends.
He's got me now. I'm on man.
It only depends on my hands and my feet with a linebacker. If your assignment as a pulling guard is a play side backer who is much more naturally athletic and agile than an O lineman, just because, I mean, it'd be silly to think that somebody like Trey Smith is going to get a hold of somebody like Al Wilson every single time on a pull, you know, like it's just that way. So you have to be that much more perfect in your precision and in the way that you're not out of control with your feet. You can be fast, but you got to be quick more than fast. But to answer your question there, I would think because you gave that preface there, if you're getting recruited to play big boy football, even at Tennessee Junior, if you're playing at Texas or you're playing at LSU or one of these piddly dink programs, I mean, you're going to have to go into this whole ball game knowing you're not going to be the starter at left tackle because you're going to be the most sought after guy on the field to play that position if you are in the first place, but you're not going to start there. Okay. And if you do wind up going there, you're not going to be Lance Hurd going, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to play left tackle because I'm that good. You're going to have to work for it. The tackle position, especially in a wide split offense like what we've got, you have to hold your own as a backside tackle in Josh Heupel's offense. And it goes back to that play. I think it was the second play. No, it wasn't. That was the gap. The third play was the trap zone. I would never run that because if you don't have a very athletic guard playing inside your backside tackle, that's just going to get blown up. Your defensive end reads that play, or if your guy sneezes the wrong way or blinks at the moment that the ball is snapped, it's over. Defensive end's inside of you. He's got the leverage on the play. He's going to put you down 4 or 5 yards in the backfield. And then you're in 1st and 15. And then you got Joe Milton playing quarterback. He's a nice guy, but he can't dig you out of 1st and 15, Now with Nico, anything could happen. Nico could see something like that coming and he could pull the ball, tuck and go, because the rest of the offensive line, they went zone to the play side. He could possibly read that, see it coming, but it's a lot harder to play tackle in the SEC than it is interior line. High school, that's like a 50-50. That's a preference. Guard is so much fun to play, but now I run my mouth for 20 minutes here answering a 20-second question.
I hope Coach Jay turns that against you. Tom told you guys at the top of the show that he loves to talk and he never shuts up. All right, we got to move on. We're going to jump into Coach Jay. We're going to throw Tom in the back room. Coach Jay, how pissed are you that he took up 51 minutes? We said we were going to go an hour. Tom took up 51 minutes.
I guess I got 9 minutes. My players better vote for me. All right, let's go.
Let's just put up. You want to put up the poll and just roll out?
Yeah, there you go. Put up the poll. My players better.
All right, let's catch up with the chat. Yeah. Black Metal Banjo for 5 says, I would hate to follow that fire. I feel like I loved it. Yeah, they're rolling with time a little bit here. I like it.
Good.
Brad for 5 says GBO for Coach Jay's shipping cost. Coach, how did you just become the underdog?
First of all, I have a rematch clause and an interest for both of me and Tom's sake. If I were to lose, let's let both the matches circle out. But it ain't gonna matter anyway.
That is what's happening. If Tom does win the championship, the rematch comes up.
Pressure and heat makes diamonds, guys. Pressure and heat makes diamonds. So
I'm pretty pissed at Tom. I'll be honest. Vote for Coach Jay. Tom tried to fire my right-hand man that does all of my streams with me. I turned on Tom when he tried to fire you.
There you go.
Z-Flex, been a member for 3 months. Shout out Z-Flex. Tony Canada, also been a member for 3 months. We appreciate you guys and the way you support this channel. Hit that join button. If you don't have a power T beside your name, do it. Do it now. Do it twice. Do it often. It's $1. It's $1. We would appreciate it. Shout out to the members, Z-Flex for 2. Rocky Flop, Tom, with the fire. Nice breakdown debut. It was good, man. I enjoyed it. All right, let's jump into it. Let's go take a look. Again, Coach Jay pulling at my heartstrings. Are you trying to manipulate the system here? This is a guy I've been talking about for a minute. Jared Smith, edge rusher, 6'6", 235 out of Hoover, Alabama. Almost just right outside the top 50, man. 52nd in the country. Let's hit this real quick. Sling Blade for 20. That's an Orange Boy. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
I feel like I also need to go ahead and update the leaderboard. Huh? What did I do?
Did the clip play?
Did you not hear it?
I didn't hear it.
You got that California internet?
I got that Cali internet. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Cali internet.
Although last night I played the clip 14 times and I never heard it, so I don't know what's going on. Sling Blade for $20. That is not cheap. Top donation of the night. We appreciate it, brother. Big thanks to Rocky Top Tom and Coach Jay. We appreciate the what? The misses. Wait. We appreciate you both for the time you devoted to the channel.
Yeah.
We reckon you're all right. I said that the other day. We were laughing because I was getting ripped to shreds on a VolQuest thread But a lot of people went to bat for the Talkin Balls Network, and we were talking about the coaches. And man, they elevated this channel, and it's glad to have Tom. I'm glad to have Tom as part of the family as well.
Heck yeah.
Let's jump back into Jared Smith here again. 4-star edge rusher, 6'6", 235. That's what I love is his length. If I was going to take a shot at Coach Jay, if I was Rocky Top Tom, I would talk about the fact that Jared Smith is coming off of a visit to South Carolina. A lot of the experts and the insiders say he is trending to South Carolina. Big recruiting weekend in Columbia this past weekend. Steve Wiltfong, also Chad Simmons, both locked in expert predictions to South Carolina. But here's the reality. He's been to Knoxville quite a bit after getting that offer back in May of 2022. Camped with Tennessee later that summer. Guess what? Guess who he was in town to see in 2022, Coach? You want to take a wild guess?
I'm going with the Vols.
Tennessee, Alabama. The win over Alabama.
Yep,
he was also here for the orange and white game last year, and he saw the win over Texas A&M last year. Not been here since. But
he's got a visit scheduled, right?
He's got an official visit scheduled for June the 14th. That's huge. Yep. That's your shot. Shoot your shot. What he likes about Tennessee, take a wild guess. Coach Garner, Coach Chop. He says they're his best relationships at Tennessee. They're both old school type of guys. Says they just got Jordan Ross there, and I know him from high school. So he is a really good guy. Just that home feeling those guys bring and the way they communicate with me every single day. That excites me. Like, I don't know how close he is to Jordan Ross, but they have that relationship from high school. That speaks volumes, man. If you can speak to a peer, a guy that you respect, a guy that you went to high school with, and guess what? Jordan Ross is going to be hyping up Tennessee. He says, I love the way they're trying to get guys in there that can rush the passer. That is something they think I'm good at. So if I was to go there, just getting after it and rushing the passer would be nice. Again, official visits coming up. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, USC plans to commit sometime before his senior season. So either July or August. Tennessee has one of the last visits, June the 14th. USC out there on the West Coast. Maybe Coach Jay will be on a yacht with him trying to get him to the Trojans. I don't know, but Tennessee has a shot. So, Coach, give us your opening statement. Why Jared Smith?
He's prototypical. He's a man amongst boys, no matter what level he's playing at, and that I mean that. I project him to have John Davian Clowney type size and skill set and ability. I fully expect him to be a 5-star. He would be a 5-star if he didn't get blackballed by his coach for leaving the school halfway through the year. I don't know if you caught this, but let me educate the chat really quick. This film that you're about to see is his sophomore season, not his junior season. It is his sophomore season. And the reason is because his coach will not post his junior film because of a personal tiff that he has against him. And it's a shame because I'll tell you what, that is an absolute shame and a travesty because this kid is amazing. He's a game changer out there. He's a game wrecker. I will give Tom a lot of credit. Juan Gaston is a great player, and he is a nice piece. This guy is not a piece. He is the entire puzzle to your defense, okay? He is going to make them go. He's a game wrecker, a game changer. He is the next in line. James Pierce, Jordan Ross, and Gerard Smith are going to be 3 of the best defensive ends that ever played for Tennessee. If he comes here, his name will be right up there with your Reggie White and Derek Barnett. He is an absolute wrecking ball out there.
What are you looking for frame wise in an edge rusher? What prototypical body type? You can custom build one and put a neck roll on him and like a big arm guard on him, long socks, maybe a towel. How would you custom build your edge rusher?
I mean, you got it right here, 6'6", 235. And look, if we were to pull up James Pierce, you'd find a similar measurement, right? Maybe a little bit on the lighter side, which just works towards Smith's advantage because he's such a wrecking ball. But you would take this. The one thing he has over someone like James Pierce, is he's got length that Pierce doesn't have. He's got that elite size, that elite length, but he's got speed and length to go along with it. A nightmare for any offensive lineman try to block. And not only that, he can stop the run really well too. He can play 5 technique. He can stand up. he can play against the pass as well, something we've seen that Rodney Gardner likes to do with his defensive end in the Iowa game. One thing that you won't see in this film, because I wasn't able to go to individual games because of time, he's got a lot of pass breakups, a lot of tip balls, and a couple interceptions as well from dropping back into coverage. The kid is a triple threat on the football field and a kid who's going to instantly change your defense. And I believe him to be a 5-star by the end of his senior season.
All right, we're going to jump right into the film again. Like Coach Jay just said, this is a sophomore film for political reasons, which is a joke. We got over 100 people watching live. Hit that thumbs up, share out the link. Let's grow this chat. Let people know we're live, breaking down film of legitimate Tennessee targets after Coach Jay finishes and Tom gets a chance to come on and counter argue. We're going to put up a poll in the chat, and you guys are going to vote who won this film breakdown challenge. All right, here we go, Coach. We're ramming it up. 006.
Yeah, quick answer to a question. He moved because of a situation that wasn't what he can deal with. His family moved and the trip was a little bit long for him to be commuting. That is why he moved schools, but once again, a two-way player. Let's go ahead and pick this up. As you can see by the yardsticks out there, we got second and forever, right? Second and about 20. We've got single wing trips to the bottom of the screen. What we're going to get here is kind of a bit of a broken play because pressure comes up the A gap. The quarterback is going to drop back, step into that A gap like he wants to go, and then have to break outside. Obviously, Gerard is at the top of the screen against the right tackle, and he's going to make pretty short work of him here and see one of his many tools that he likes to keep in his tool shed here. Boogie, if you want to go ahead and give me just the first maybe two steps here, just the first 2 steps, we can talk about what we get from Gerard here. Gerard popped through. You see right away he's the first off the line. The offensive tackle is going to go ahead and put his hands out to punch on the pass block. Gerard's going to do something really smart here. Not only is he going to beat him upfield, but as he beats him upfield, he's going to dip his hip, but instead of rip, he's going to dip and square. Okay, so when you dip and square with your play side shoulder, it's going to align you with the quarterback and put you on angle to make that sack. And our goal here, when we dip our shoulder and pull our hip through, is you want to fly yourself all the way up to that 35-yard line. So you're butt deep with the tackle and even with the quarterback. Go ahead and pause it when you get, see, look at that hip dips, right? He gets around him. The offensive tackle is completely left in the dust here. Look at him. He's gone, all the way gone. Bye-bye. Boogie, go ahead and take it till Gerard gets to about the 35-yard line. We'll talk about what we get at this point. There you go. All right, now he got to that 35-yard line. When you see it in full speed, you'll see how fast he executed that. We'll watch the whole play after. The quarterback is fake like he's going up. He's going to break outside and roll out and try to run. Now, I have full confidence Gerard would have ran him down in this situation. But the quarterback makes a fatal error. He decides to throw the ball, and Jared is very, very, very fast. Boogie, let's go ahead and watch and see a textbook Coach J hit. Knees to nuts, ass down, head up, wrap up, hat on the ball. Ain't no shoulder shrugging here. So fast, resets, and good night. You have a quarterback. He's not going to be in the game very, very long with Gerard here. But just that quick little move. Look how quick he covered 6 yards there. He covers that 6 yard in a blink. I mean, it is instant. You want to talk about the speed of James Pierce? This is a kid who's just as fast as Pierce and more solid. Just a nice inner shoulder dip, pull through. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful job by Mr. Smith there. All right, moving right along. Okay,
123.
Perfect. Yeah, that was nasty, Nate. I totally agree. All right, who had aces, single wing, Buckeye, pistol formation right here? Anyone have that on their bingo card for more formations we're going to see tonight?
Wait, say it again.
We got, all right, here's what we got. We got aces, so single wide receiver on both sides, right? We've got single wing. You got the wing back. You can probably point him out, Boogie, if you want. Single wing. And then you got pistol, Buckeye formation. So the Buckeye is the back, right to the right. There you go. The up back to the right of the quarterback. All right. Quarterback's going to fake to the bottom of the screen, and they are going to run a counter speed option to the top side of the field. Okay. So that wing back is going to be your pull man, your counter man. The offensive tackle that is over Gerard is going to leak out into the second level, and the up back and the tailback are going to go around and the up back is going to come around as well, just like the wing back on the pull, and lead block for that speed option. Boogie, I want you to, so what's going to happen when Boogie presses play is the right tackle is going to go past Gerard Smith. Now, a lot of defensive linemen in this situation would want to jam them up, right? But Gerard's going to do something I absolutely love here. He's going to let him go by him. Boogie, if you could just play, I mean, like 2 seconds here, just right as he crosses his face. Let's take a look at that face cross, because this happens so quick, right? Right as he crosses his face. Now, if you look at this, look at that tackle right about even with the yardstick, the first down marker. See the tackle even with the first down marker right there. He's going to seal off that backside backer right there. That is done. Look at the up back and the pulling wing back. This play is sealed off right now. This is 6 right now on the speed option. There is one way and only one way humanly possible to stop this play. It's to let the guy go by you and attack the pitch relationship. And when I say pitch relationship, you usually want 4 yards, 1 yard, right? Or 1 by 4, or 1 by 3. We always talk about this depending on the option. So 4 yards out, 1 yard behind. Right now, they haven't created that pitch relationship yet, so you can attack the outside shoulder of the quarterback. A lot of defensive ends right here, when they're in isolation, will try to do too much. We'll try to split the difference between the quarterback and the running back. We'll try to take the running back. We'll try to cover both people. What you need to do right here is attack the outside shoulder of the quarterback, and you need to do it right now in a split second. Let's watch how quickly he does that.
I'm going to take it back and let it come back to that point.
Yeah, watch how quickly he knifes in here and attacks that point. He doesn't even think about that. Also, if you notice, he's got big length in hands. He's got a huge wingspan. I think it was something like a 7'2" wingspan. Forces the fumble there, and more importantly, picks up the fumble. Notice he didn't dedicate himself to murdering the quarterback. Once that ball was out, he knew you go for ball, you fall on it. You don't got to pick it up. You press the quarterback away, pin the ball. Textbook, the only way to stop a beautifully designed play right there. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Forcing turnovers is what I like to see. Just beautiful. It's almost not fair. This kid's so big and fast. Right now we got empty set. All right, so no running backs, no wing backs in the backfield. We got twins to the top of the screen, 2 wide receivers to the top of the screen, bunch trips to the bottom side. We got a 3-3-5 look. Gerard's going to be playing the Leo here on the bottom side of your screen against this right tackle. When Boogie presses play here, what we're going to get is he's going to attack the outside shoulder of this offensive tackle. And the offensive tackle does a beautiful job, like Tom was saying, that straight pick, right, that you just saw with your previous offensive lineman, does a great job of scraping with them. Boogie, go ahead and capture that first step or two, just till he steps outside, not even till he makes contact, just till he steps outside that shade. So there you go. He's got outside contain, and by stepping outside, he's pulling that tackle away from his guard, which is exactly what he wants to do. Now, when he does make contact, he's going to do something very interesting. He's not going to just try to swing around. He's going to go outside and then split the middle, right? Knees to nuts, like we talked about. Knees to face, knees to nuts, square to shoulders, okay? So when we get hands on him and you're square to shoulders, since he's scraping out, when you attack in, he's got to come back in. All of a sudden, he's off of his base. And if you time it right, when you hit him, You can start driving back. Boogie, go ahead and take us until we make contact. Let's talk about hand placement since it was a note of ours. Boom. Look at those hands. Right inside. Look at the offensive lineman hands outside because he had to come outside in. Look at that knee pointing right up towards the nuts, right? And let's see him drive him back. Boogie, give me a couple drive steps until he gets about even with the quarterback. Drive, 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 drive. Beautiful. Now all you got to do is extend, push off, and it's payday, man. Give the man a payday. Give that man a cigar, a candy bar. Boom, 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 boom. Unfair. Another pass incomplete and broken up. And just, I mean, when you look how big this kid is, I mean, he is a nightmare out there. Beautiful, beautiful play. Boom, 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 boom. Choppy feet. Done.
We talk about length. Why is length? And then we talk about it at the offensive tackle position. We talk about it at the edge position. Why does length give you an advantage as an edge rusher? A kid that's 6'6", 235, going to be able to add plenty of weight. Why does length give you that advantage at the edge position?
Because a lot of your moves are based around the extension of your arms and placement of the arms. It's just a matter of getting there first. That first contact tends to win. If I've just like a boxing match, Boogie, if I'm throwing a jab and I got reach, that jab's going to affect you more, right? If I can get my hands inside on you before you can, I have position. Look, if I'm inside on you, how hard is it to punch inside my hands right now? Right? So I've punched inside. I'm swimming outside. It gives me that distance to create space. Also, the closer I am to you, when I do finally push off, I create more space in between us when I do separate. Both of these things are very, very important. Also, just the strength of the punch. You can generate more energy over that distance as you wind through your punches. Length is hugely important, and I wish we had more time for it in this film, because if you go back and watch this film on your own, guys, there are a plethora of plays where he's chasing the quarterback and he just bats the ball down. I mean, they just can't get the ball over him. And if you want to do yourself a really good treat, this kid's a basketball player. His dunk highlight reels are amazing. He can just absolutely throw the ball down when he dunks it. It's awesome.
You know what's crazy? Juan Gaston plays basketball too at his size.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He's a basketball player too, which was interesting. All right, we're going to take a look at one last play that Coach Jay is going to break down. Then we're going to look at the bonus play, and then you guys are going to get an opportunity to vote. Who is taking home? Coach Jay, show them that Talkin VAWLS Film Breakdown World Championship that you have earned and defended for many, many days. Undefeated, undisputed, the best in the world. Is he going to retain that title? You guys are going to get to decide at the end of this stream. We're going to take a look at one last play and then a bonus play. 256. What do we got, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. We have that same trips bunch to the bottom of the screen, single back set. It looks like a 3-3-5 look again out of this defense. What we're going to get here is an outside zone run. So that offensive tackle, the left tackle, is going to attempt to kick out block on Gerard. When he attempts that kick up block, we've got to remember a couple things. We got to maintain outside leverage. We talked about it in our Jordan Ross breakdown. We've talked about it with this Tennessee team. Okay. One problem that we had this past year, guys, think about it. The Florida game, the Missouri game, we were running too deep past our assignments and teams were running underneath us, right? We're getting ran underneath in these games. You have to be able to occupy a gap violently without giving out outside leverage, which means you have to squeeze the play inside, okay? So that's what you need to attempt here. When Boogie plays this film, you'll see a couple things. The offensive tackle does a great job, keeps his feet really choppy, gets great position, and punches. Boogie, see if you can capture that moment that the offensive tackle punches Gerard Smith here. Boom, right? Look, both their hands are beautifully placed. As a matter of fact, I would almost argue that the offensive tackle was so choppy that he was able to get inside with one arm, but not with the second. So we literally have a stalemate here, which is awesome. And we see that gap between the guard and the tackle that's opened up a little. Yeah, your Mike linebacker can run through it if he can get there. But right now, we need to make sure that we don't get kicked out. Right, we have outside contain, but we don't want to get kicked out so far that we can't affect the play. But we also have to maintain our position and squeeze that play inside. Okay, very difficult stuff. Boogie, go ahead and give us just a couple seconds more. Let's watch the stalemate. Really, really violent. Stays right. Now, right here, he's pulled the offensive tackle's arms down. One of the hardest things to do with an offensive tackle. And you talk about that length. It's part of what can allow you to hand fight inside and pull them down. So he's pulled that down. He has outside contain, right? He's pushed out to the full outside, but he hasn't been kicked out completely from his gap. Now the back sees that he can't break outside on this, so he's going to knife in right here. And let's go ahead and take a look at how Gerard just seals this play off. I mean, I don't think he gains a yard right here. This is really difficult stuff, being isolated right here against a left tackle, the best tackle on their field. Let's go ahead and watch him stuff this run right here. Boom. Yeah, just nothing, right? Loss of one. It's one thing to be able to stop the pass, and this guy can do that at a high level. He can intercept the ball. It's another thing to be able to stop the run. It's one of the last pieces to James Pierce is puzzle, and why we are so excited about Jordan Ross, because we feel like he does both of those things. Like he has a little better, geez, Louise, balance. This is a kid that you can truly play 5 technique through 2 technique. You could play him at Leo. You can let him do almost anything he wants on that football field. I think he's an absolute game changer. I think he's an absolute wrecker.
We're going to take a look at one last play. Coach Jay can't really break this down. He can talk a little bit about it. He can cheat like Tom did and break it down as it's playing. But why did you choose this? Tom's laughing in the back room. I can see his beautiful grin laughing in the background. Why'd you choose this as your bonus play? And what should we be looking for? I guess don't break it down.
Like we don't want to have you pull up a bunch of different films, Boogie. But one thing I wasn't able to do because of time was show all these pass breakups and interceptions dropping into space. And this film that I pulled from is very short, but it was the only one I could get a lot of plays from, since, like I said, they denied one of his films from us, right?
That's ridiculous,
and you can't watch and you can't watch individual games. So this was the one play where I could kind of give you all a teaser of how quickly he can drop into coverage and how tall and long he is. He doesn't quite pick the ball, but in many of these films, he does pick the ball. And I just wanted to give you a small taste of how quick he can recognize it on the short side of the field. I think it reminds you a little bit of someone like a James Pierce. You just see that length and athleticism. Just needs to catch the damn ball, but he was really close to him. Just the recognition. Did you see how quick he recognized that? I mean, it wasn't even, it was instantly he recognizes. He has just so many tips in that situation, that exact same situation, and picks in that situation. Do yourself a favor, go watch some of his individual game highlights. The kid's a game changer. Whenever you can get interceptions from a D lineman, you are driving, as Tom will tell you, you are driving an offensive coordinator mad. Right? Absolutely mad when you have a defensive lineman that can do that. And I won't bury the lead here. Look, both of these kids are awesome. Give me both of them any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Tom, it was an absolute pleasure dancing with you tonight. You brought the heat, man, and best of luck.
Absolutely. To you too, man. You did a great job. I love listening to you break down stuff. I really do. Because as an offensive kind of a mind, I really do love hearing the defensive perspective of it.
Sure.
Because it helps me. I mean, it really helps me the way that I think of it. And I love your guy. I really do. I would absolutely love to have him backing
that
up.
frame, right?
Yeah. The
that
length
frame.
the plays that you picked, and I mean, just being able to get up there. Now, on the plays that I'm getting into my rebuttal a little early here, but
get him.
No, roll it. Let's go.
Get it.
Right into it.
Punch
on
me
the
in the face.
plays that were just past rush, he has great off the ball speed. He's got great hip movement as far as dropping his hips and being able to get inside or outside of his guy. But your guys' competition is like their feet are stuck in cement there for a little bit on the first couple. Like that first play, I would absolutely love to. Now, we don't have time for it, and I ran my yap forever and ever, so I ran up a lot of time. But that was partly strategy, by the way.
Quick caveat, though. Quick caveat, Tom, and then you can continue. He plays in Hoover, Alabama, where he is. And as a lot of you may recognize from the name, there's a lot of big competition there. Now, as Tom will probably tell you too, in the first half of your season, you always play kind of the softer stuff before you get in the league. And this was that situation. It's only like the first whatever amount of games before the coach yanked his stuff. So
nice
I'm just no, it is a nice deflect, but I'm eked about that, and I'm gonna bring it up. Not so much to even deflect, as just I'm irritated that happened to him.
Yeah,
because like Boogie said, it's crap.
Yeah, our weakest opponents used to be the first 4 games of the season, and to get over that hump, I used to tell the guys, and especially when I was playing, we had the weakest Chicken Little, sky is falling type of guys that couldn't block, pass, run, tackle, or pour piss out of a boot with the instructions on the heel. But I mean, we just couldn't. But no, I mean, I would love, what I'd really love to see, and I know my guy would win because he's 6'7", 345 with perfect.
Ooh, it'd be a good match. I know where you're getting at, but I'll take my guy. I'll take my guy.
I would love to see it.
I'll take my guy.
Really, yeah, they would absolutely go at it. I mean, you want to see.
They would, and they're both huge. They're giants. Both of them are giants.
What was the movie? Godzilla versus King Kong, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Like, which one's gonna win? I would just pick my guy on size and footwork. I mean, I would put your dude up against some maybe second tier offensive linemen because that's all he can perform against.
Oh, all right.
Dirtiest player in the game, man. I just gave you.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Swing for it. No, hey, look, I think we can get this. Gerard, I don't know if it's Jared. I never know.
I think it's Jared.
It's either Jared or Gerard, Jared Smith. But of course, he's got the easy last name, and I choose to fumble over his first name the whole day. But I really think he can get bigger, stronger, faster. Once again, look how huge that kid was. He's a sophomore in that film, a sophomore for Pete's sake, and I think he's going to be a 5-star by the time it's all said and done. Go check out his film after this, Tom. And there's a play I want you to see. He has a spin move that he does, and it's beautiful when he does it. Yeah. It's just the hit at the end's not that great. So I was like, maybe I won't use it.
When Boogie dropped the video, I knew because, all right, look, there is a natural handicap to this because on our recruiting board, there was only one true defensive lineman, and it was Smith. He's the edge guy. So I kind of figured that was who it was going to be. And I watched his freshman and his sophomore film are both on Huddle. And I kind of just, I was like, man, it's got to be him. Who else could it be? So deductive reasoning, offensive line guy. I was like, all right, it's got to be. I was
wondering if you think I'd pick Charles House. Is it House?
House is trending. He's trending.
You know what House? The problem with House was, I don't know if y'all seen his film. The film is like 20 miles up in the sky, and they don't zoom in on him. So it's really hard to see.
Yeah,
it's really hard to see.
The poll is up. Everybody in the chat, you're voting on small percentage who's the better player, small percentage who has a legit shot at committing to Tennessee. The biggest factor is who did the best job breaking down the film. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to vote, and then we're going to call it a night.
I'm trying to vote for Tom.
In the meantime, make sure first and foremost you smash the thumbs up. We would appreciate it. Share this out, man. I want to grow. I want to grow the film breakdown. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Boogie, you're an idiot. Why are you doing film breakdown videos and getting 1,000, 2,000 views? Why are you hurting your channel this way?" Because I love it. I love what these guys bring to the table, and I also think it's helping us build relationships in recruiting with guys like Shady Hayward, with guys like Jalen Matthews. I want to put a spotlight on these guys, and Tom, Coach Jay, Coach Rice. These guys are helping me do that, and I'm ride or die, man. I'm ride or die. This is the content I live for. I didn't get to do the wrestling themes and all the fun stuff tonight because I was too busy buying a house and trying to sell a house and running.
We need a Tom emoji.
We do need a Tom emoji.
We need a Tom emoji.
It didn't even hit me. I was talking to Tom earlier, and then I told Coach Jay, I was like, I can't even do it. I don't have a Tom emoji. So Kevin's not in the chat. I need to hit Kevin up. We need to get a Tom emoji. Ricky D drops a $2 super chat. We appreciate each and every super chat on these film breakdowns. These are not the most viewed streams, the most viewed videos, but this is some of my favorite content. You can also help us out by going and checking out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got the new checkerboard theme Knoxville, Tennessee shirts, the Chosen One, Colts of 8, all your favorites. Talkin VAWLS letter theme, Colt member, FUGA, Gator Hater, all of it's there. Buck Fama.
Can you scroll back up there? Can you scroll back up just for a second? Look at those signs.
The Star.
The Vol signs there. One more row, I think. After
this is one of my favorite shirts, and nobody buys it.
Oh yeah,
that is dirty. That's absolutely dirty. I'm a sweatshirt person. That's going to be my next sweatshirt. Absolutely.
Good one.
That is money. I remember as a kid looking up at those the VOLS, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
With my stepdad sitting next to me, watching Peyton in his last game against Vanderbilt. That was my first game in Neyland Stadium, was Peyton's. Actually, no. We went to, excuse me, I misspoke. It was the 93 Georgia. 93. I think we beat the tar out of them too. I mean, it was 30 something to 13 or 15. But yeah, the signs mean a lot to me, and I really do love the Waffle House theme with the Knoxville, Tennessee. Absolutely favorite.
I didn't even mean for it to be Waffle House, but it looks like Waffle House. Somebody said, have we done a Bo Jackson breakdown? Not yet. We got Jalen Matthews coming up next, and then we're gonna jump right back into the dang film room as long as I've got a studio to record in because it's chaos right now. But Bo Jackson's on the short list, so we will do that as well. But let's go take a look at the votes. Coach Jay, 60%. Rocky Top Tom, 40%. We're gonna call it a wrap. But here's the fun thing.
Bad ref. My game today, I'm telling you.
Bad ref. I called for fair catch and they spotted it anyway.
Oh my Lord, that's the worst.
No, but let me tell you something. I'm kind of excited because Tom brought it. You know who else brings it? Coach Rice.
Yep.
So
we
were talking about what's next. Do I hit up Reed Bacon? Do I hit up Kyler Kirbyson? What do we do?
That.
And I said no. We're gonna have a #1 contendership match. Rocky Top Tom versus Coach Rice. Everybody says I'm Paul Heyman and I show favoritism. Let's be real. It's a little rigged because me and Coach Jay have a little bit of chemistry.
We do it all the time.
Yes.
We do it all the time.
I know what you're thinking. I know where to go. I know I am fair, but I also know what Coach Jay wants. Like we were talking, me and Tom were talking 2 minutes before we go live. What do you want? What do you need? How do you want me to do this? I know what Coach Jay wants. I know he's going to talk. He's going to tell me to roll the tape. I'm going to replay. So it is a bit of an advantage. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the next one. And maybe we'll do it sooner rather than later. Maybe we do it early May, and then we double down and we do another one late May because I love these film breakdowns. It's so much fun. Coach Jay is your reigning, defending, undisputed world heavyweight champion. But shout out to Rocky Top Tom. You brought it. This was a fun stream. We love all you guys in the chat. I don't have anything scheduled. We're going to have a film breakdown coming your way soon. We'll be talking recruiting, transfer portal, any news that breaks. Coming up the next couple of months, going to be a lot of fun covering recruiting. A lot of visits coming up over the summer. But that is going to do it for this one. For Tom, for Coach Jay, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. I'll send you guys out with this. Go big. It's upside down. There we go.
There we go.
Orange. Well, oh my gosh, I hit the wrong button. Wait, hold on. Let me hit it again.
Quick.
Go big orange. So my wife and kids went over to the house tonight while we were streaming, and my daughter texted me. And look, the backyard is amazing, but we've only seen it in the daylight. We've not seen it when the sun's setting. And my daughter texted me pictures and goes, "Dad, I love our house. This is our house.
Dude.
This is our house at night. The
Yes,
house we just
sir.
bought." It's like, oh
Are we still on?
no. Oh, we are
Sure.
still on.
Oh, are we still?
Oh, you guys are getting some inside baseball. You
There
guys
you
want
go.
to see the
And
house?
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, y'all want to see the house?
I'm on TV.
There
I'm
it
on
is.
TV.
How did I not know we were still live?
Google screen capture. Google screen
Wait,
capture.
what is this? Is this-
Geolocate.
Wait, what is this?
Wait.
Michelle says, post-credit scene. One more song. Man, have we ever done this before?
So what's actually
know.
occurring right now, for anybody who doesn't know, this is the part where they show the algorithm was leaning towards Coach Jay for the
I was
voting.
about to
and
say.
the machines
Oh.
are hooked up to the internet. The machines are rigged. Okay, the machines.
I didn't drop like an F-bomb or anything, did I?
You mean we're not allowed to have a bunch of bots in India voting for you? Is that what you guys are saying?
No.
It's
No.
so epic because they just
Damn.
they got an inside peek to what Tom saw a couple of weeks ago. He's like, hold on a second. You guys hang out after the show?
After the show?
And
What?
me and Coach Jay, we always laugh because it's like, are they going to stick around? Do they have any idea that this happens? No, they don't.
Secret champagne.
All right, we're going to have real secret conversations. For Tom, for Coach Jay, my name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.